Handling with file IO. Catching IO exceptions. IO exception is a predefined class. File IO might throw an IO exception. It catch the exception in a catch block that at least prints an error message and ends the program. File not found exception is derived from IO exception. Therefore, any catch block that catches IO exception also catches file not found exceptions. But the more specific one first, the derived one, so it catches specifically file not found exceptions. Then you will know that an IO error is something other than file not to be found. Example, reading a file name from the keyboard. So reading a file name from the keyboard, we are using the file name is equal to keyboard.next. For using the file name read from the keyboard, we are giving buffer reader is equal to new input stream reader, which is equal to new buffer reader of new file reader of that particular file name. Reading data from the file, we are using line is equal to input stream dot read line. For closing the file, we have to use the input stream dot close function here. So this is the reading a file from the keyboard. Exception dot get method in try block, catch block, file not found exception of E. So system dot out dot println file name plus not found. If exception of E get messages, so system exit of the minus one. Reading words in a string using string tokenizer class. There are buffer reader methods to read a line and a character, but not just a single word. String tokenizer that can be used to parse a line into words. Import java.utility.star. Some of its useful methods are shown in the text. Example, test if there are more tokens. You can specify delimiters, the character or characters that separate words. The default delimiters are white space, space, tab and new line. Example, string tokenizer. Display the words separated by any of the following characters: space, new line slash n, period dot comma. String input line is equal to keyboard dot next line. String tokenizer word finder is equal to new string tokenizer, new input line slash n, that is new line here. The second argument is a string of the 4 delimiters while of word finder has more tokens. System.out.println word finder dot next token. Testing for end of file in a text file. When read line tries to read beyond the end of the text file, it returns the specific value null. So you can test null to stop processing a text file. Read returns minus. When tries to read beyond the end of the text file, then int value of all ordinary characters is non-negative. Neither of these two methods, read and read line, will throw an end of exception. Example, using null to test for end of file text file. When using read line, test for null. File IO example. Using path name, it gives name of the file and tells which directory the file is in, and relative path name, it gives the path starting with the directory that the program is in. Typical Unix path name, users home network java file class demo.java. Typical Windows path name, this is the path name in D colon work in Java and in programs file class .java. When a backslash is used to quoted string, it must be written as a 2 backslashes since backslash is the escape character. In file class, it acts like a wrapper class for file names. A file name like number.txt has only string properties. File has some very useful methods. Exist. Test if a file already exists. Can read. Test if the OS will let you read a file. Can write. Test if the OS will let you write to a file. Delete, deletes the file. Returns true if successful. Length, it returns the number of bytes in the file. Get name, it returns file name which excluding the preceding path. Get path, it returns the path name, that is full name. So file number file is equal to new file numbers.txt if number file of exist system.out.println number file dot length the function. File objects and file names. File input stream and file output stream have construct tasks that take file argument as well as construct tasks that take a string argument. So print return smile out stream, new print return new file output stream is equal to smiley.txt. So file smiley file is equal to new file smiley.txt. Alternate with scanner. Instead of buffer reader with file reader, then the string tokenizer, use scanner with file. So scanner in file is equal to new scanner of new file in.txt. Similar to scanner with system.in. Scanner keyboard is equal to new scanner system.in. Reading is image. Scanner in file is equal to new scanner new file of index int number, while in file has in number is equal to in file. Reading in lines of characters. Scanner in file is equal to new scanner of new file in txt string line, while in file has next line function. Line is equal to in file of next line function. Multiple types on one line. Name, id, balance. Scanner in file, new scanner new file in txt, while in file it has next. Name is equal to in file dot next, id is equal to in file dot next into balance is equal to in file next floor. Example, new account name id balance string line, while in file has like next line, line is equal to in file next line. Scanner parse line, new scanner of line, name is equal to parse line dot next, id is equal to parse line dot next into balance is equal to parse line dot next floor. New account of name comma id comma balance. And in one line multiple types. Name id balance. Scanner in file, new scanner of new file in .txt string line, while in file has no line. Line of in file is equal to next line. Account of account is equal to new account of line. Public account string line. Constructor we are using here single constructor. So scanner account line is equal to new scanner of line, name account line dot next, id account line dot next into balance account line dot next float. Buffered reader versus scanner. It's a passing primitive type. Scanner next integer next float for parsing types. Buffered reader read line none for passing types. It needs string tokenizer then wrapper class methods like integer dot parcel in token. And buffered reader versus scanner checking end of file system. Buffer reader, so read line read null, reads return -1. Scanner next line throws exception, it needs has next line to check first next int and case next int. Buffer reader space in line file is equal to line is equal to in file dot read line, while line null, line is equal to in file read line. Scanner in file, while in file has next line in file next line. Buffer reader in file line, while line in file buffer reader in file, while line in file line read line null we are using here. So use scanner with file, new scanner new file in txt has next to check for end of, while in file has next. Use next to read in file dot next. Simpler and use familiar with methods for scanner. Skipping binary file IO for now. Basic binary file IO. We'll come back. File input scanner in file is equal to new scanner of new file in .txt, and file output printer write out file is equal to new print writer new file out.txt, and output file println format flush and close.